What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Chris Moore, and if you've been following the channel for a little while, you've seen what we've done here lately with Black Mamba. Yeah, that's right, guys. The bike we built in 9 days right here at home here, Cycle Specialties Performance. We took it and we set the world's record with it for having the world's quickest and fastest no bar motorcycle. Now, what does no bar mean? No bar means we have no wheelie bars on the back. Spider-Man, he got wheelie bars. He's the world's fastest motorcycle, period. Other than that, it's us, boys, it's us. Here we are. So anyways, we're gonna show you what all goes into building one of these bikes, show you some of the components that's on it, thank a lot of the sponsors that we got to help us with this bike. But before we do that, I'm gonna tell you about the fuel system this bike has. It has M1 straight alcohol. So alcohol is a very fast fuel. In other words, it makes a lot of power, but it's also very corrosive and very harmful to the products in the fuel system. So we're gonna ride Black Mamba to the gas station and gas it up with some good old 93 octane, and we're gonna ride it back to the shop and show you a little more about it. Stay with us, guys. Here we go. All right, guys, now that you saw us ride Black Mamba down the street, get some gas, and ride it back here to the shop, we're gonna take a second to show you a little bit about what goes on to the build of this thing and what kind of parts make up the world's quickest and fastest motorcycle with no wheelie bars. So there it is, there you see it, and then you're gonna see the tape measure laid out there on the ground in just a second. We're gonna measure the bike, and I'm gonna show you the actual wheelbase it was when we ran it and went that 630 flat. So we're gonna go over and we'll start with the outside first. The first thing, of course, that everyone sees and notices is the carbon fiber bodywork that's absolutely beautiful on this thing from Montgomery Motorsports. Montgomery Motorsports made all the bodywork and even the subframe on this motorcycle. So even up underneath our frame rails and stuff, all carbon fiber. They also made the carbon fiber chain guard, and then sometimes we run the carbon fiber tire hugger. Now in concurrent configuration, we had to take it off because the bike wants to scrub. It's kind of low. And let's just say the tire hugger was hitting the tail section, so we're not running it right now. But like I said, we do have all carbon fiber bodywork, all that bodywork together, every single piece of it, from very far back here all the way up to here. Every piece of it weighs about 6 or 7 pounds. Crazy lightweight. The whole subframe, tail section, everything weighs probably 3 or 4 pounds. The gas tank is probably like less than 2 pounds, and then about 3 or 4 pounds for the front end. So like I said, all together, less than 10 pounds for everything. Crazy, crazy lightweight. Next thing, the swing arm. It is a DME Racing swing arm. And right now we are currently sitting at about 73-inch wheelbase. We're going to pull the tape on it here in just a second, measure that and show you. But this swing arm here we have, I'll go over here to the other side. You can see that we've got this is a puke tank here. And by that I mean that this is like a catch can for the engine. We run the engine, I guess you would say, over full on oil. And as it goes down the track, builds pressure. Sometimes it spits back blow by or extra oil into this tank. And we drain it after every pass and then top it back off with oil. And then this right here, the nitrous bottle. So the nitrous bottle, there actually is no nitrous that goes to the engine. The nitrous bottle that you see here pressurizes our boost controller, and it also runs our air shifter. So the bike does have a normal air shifter, just like any other bike, that I push the horn button in order to shift the gears on. But I don't have to pump up the air shifter in between runs. The nitrous bottle supplies the bike with air in order to do so. Next up, we've got Brock's Performance lowering links down here on the bottom. Brock's Performance has made us these fully adjustable window links, which has got our chassis going super straight and gives us the ability to adjust the ride height, any ride height we want in order to achieve going fast. Next up, the wheels on the bike. The wheels are made by Marvick. These are magnesium wheels. It's a 17-inch rear by 6 3/4. So it is the wider rear wheel. That does pull the tire a little flatter than, say, a stock rim would. And then in the front, we've got 16-inch wheels in the front. So it is a smaller diameter wheel than what a factory 17-inch would be. Now, inside the wheels, we have worldwide wheel bearings, ceramic race bearings installed in these wheels. Now, I run those in all of my bikes, whether it be Bessie the Barn Find, the ZX14, my 2020 GSXR 1000. We have these in every single bike, and man, do they really make a huge difference as far as making the bike roll better and go faster down the racetrack. Plus two is something that no one else can detect. So if you want to put these in your normal street bike, it's not like your buddy can look at your bike and tell you've done another modification to it. Next up, Vortex front and rear sprockets. So Vortex sprockets, proven trusted sprockets in pretty much drag racing, road racing, everything. That is a very good product, and we use those on all of our bikes. Next up, RK Pro DR chain. This chain is probably 170 links, and it's probably the only chain that we would trust in order to hold up to the abuse that these bikes throw out. A couple years ago, we were running the Pro DR2, the EKs, and we were breaking those things left and right. And we switched over to the RK Pro DR and have had no issues since. These things really do good well, or hold the power good, and have treated us right so far. And then of course, as we already shown you, the Dunlop Drag Max. This thing is basically part of the reasons of why all the no bar bikes have been able to go faster. Since Dunlop designed and produced this tire, everyone has gotten faster and faster and faster. Next up, let's talk about our main power plant right there, the SRW Precision Race Engine. SRW in Connecticut has built us this engine, have been building our engines ever since we started with this bike. And man, have they been fast, but not only that, they have been crazy reliable. We have had 0 engine failures all season long. We did have some transmission issues, but basically that's just where the bike made so much power. It sheared a couple of the gears off, But as far as the engine itself, zero issues from SRW. The only motorcycle to ever go 233 miles per hour. And not only that, it didn't tear up. So you can't ask for much more than that. If you're looking to get your bike built, whether it be just a stock bike and you're wanting to do a heads and cam, or if you got a race bike and you're looking to go to the next level, check out SRW Race Engines in Connecticut. They can definitely hook you up. Next thing that goes to the engine is the Owens Development Turbo and Turbo Kit here. DME Racing built us the turbo header and exhaust system, and Owens Development is the actual turbo itself. So the turbo, we get asked this a lot, what size is the turbo? So the turbo is a class legal kinda sorta GT35R. So basically it's a 0.5 millimeter smaller than a normal GT35R, and we pretty much spin them to the moon. We are doing everything that turbo can do and wishing it could do more. As the turbo kit and the engine make the horsepower, we got to have something to control the horsepower next, and that's where we got the Max ECU Race standalone ECU system equipped with our More Mafia harness and all our extra goodies and accessories that you can add on to a standalone system, such as oil pressure, fuel pressure, boost pressure. We have a Penske air shock, so we've even got shock pressure sensors. We got so many gadgets and sensors on board that really make monitoring all the data and tuning it going down the racetrack so much easier. BJ Humphreys does all the tuning, and he really loves the Max ECU. We worked with a lot of different platforms: Fuel Tech, Max ECU, Holly EFI, Motec. The Max ECU is our ECU of choice and what we choose to run on our personal bikes. As we just mentioned here before, the Penske air shock is our suspension of choice. The first thing you'll notice about this shock is it does not have a spring on it. No spring whatsoever on the shock. It is 100% controlled by air. And man, there's so much tunability, adjustability in that shock. It gives us the options that are basically just endless in order to tune this thing in and get it down the racetrack. Now, as we pop this off here, we're going to show you some more stuff with the wiring harness. You can see as I just take this off, I mean, it literally weighs nothing. This right here, these are weight tanks that we've had built. Matt at Performance Fab in Spartanburg, South Carolina, here locally, has built these for us. And then we also have weight ballast tanks up here in the front to help hold our front end down, mounted right below our AIM Sport dash. Now, the cool thing with that dash, it does have the shift light, all that stuff built in. And then right over here beside the shift light, or you see this knob here, that gives us the ability to change maps on the starting line. If we were to get up on the starting line, and let's just say we came to the line with a really hot tune-up in there, and BJ sees quite a few things that he don't like on the track, people blowing the tire off and whatnot, we can flip the dial and go to a different tune to take off softer or whatever the case need be, all just by flipping the switch on the dash there. So as you can see, I'm just kind of doing a walk around of all the stuff here on the bike. This plenum, built by Manchester Mines out of Connecticut. We do still run the stock throttle bodies. That's pretty amazing, because these are, I guess you'd say, a big setback, or you know, that was something that we could improve on. But we do still run the stock throttle bodies, and we did go 233 miles per hour on them. I guess that says something for our motor builder there. He's really got it working with, even though we could still have, well, we definitely still have boost leaks. So you can't seal off the factory throttle bodies as good as someone, if you did, let's just say a billet plenum and runner and single throttle body, whatnot like that. Now you may ask yourself, what powers all these electronics? Well, we've got full spectrum pulse batteries, 16 volt battery in this thing. So not only does it have 700 cold cranking amps, but it also has a 16 volt system, and we have a 16 volt ignition system on this thing supplied by Energy Coils. Energy Coil makes the igniter and the coil packs for this bike, which are able for us to allow us to run the alcohol tune much richer and give it much more spark to create much more horsepower. All right, so now we've got the tape measure held up and we are going to measure the wheelbase on the bike. You can see we are pretty much 73 inches on the nose. So our Pro Street legal setup is 69.5. So we were a little bit over on the wheelbase, but we did still weigh the 585 pounds. We did try it with the weight off, and the bike wanted to stay in the air. Now, people ask, how fast could it possibly go? Boys, I don't know. If we made we would have to put a different swing arm on it for one. But I feel like if we had it 76 inches with a flat slick and no weight, 4 O's definitely possible in the 8th. I don't even know how fast in the quarter, but boy, she would be a rocket ship. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. But wait, before you go, you saw the videos where we ran the bike at the track. You saw it where we were doing the 230 mile/hour wheelies. If you want to ride like that and you don't have anything to do December 4th, sign up now, moremafia.com. Chris Moore Drag Racing School is going to be in Palm Beach International Raceway in Palm Beach, Florida, December 4th. We're doing our Chris Moore Drag Race School for only $300. December 4th, you can't miss it. All right, guys, smash this like button, subscribe to the channel. See you next time.